Okay, hello everyone, and we're on site today, and I'm with Esther from Sarah Constructions. G'day Esther.
Hello, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Esther, where are we?
We are currently at 85 Scarlet Road, Modbury, on the ECH development site for a new retirement living village apartment living.
Fantastic. What's the need or the purpose of this project?
The purpose is to provide 77 new apartments for senior living from ECH, and then there's also some community things being added, included a cafe and a childcare centre.
Okay, sounds like a good project. What's important to the client on this project?
So the main thing for the client on this is to really involve the retirement living in a community sense. So that's the importance of, we've got an urban farm being built. Once we get to the landscaping phase, there's a gym being employed as well, great installed, and then cafe, and also that link with the childcare centre. So ECH have partnered with Modbury so that there will be a childcare centre here as well. So not necessarily for the living residents for their children, but more just so that the residents have a very community-minded atmosphere.
Fantastic. Look, this sounds like a really exciting project. We're shooting in 360 degrees today, so you'll be able to see everything we can. Let's have a look around site. Okay, we're in a different part of site, near the middle of site, in between the north and south buildings. Esther, what's been a challenge on this project?
So one of the biggest challenges for us in terms of design is these gate-in walls you can see behind us. So what we've got now is something called a Modbury basket system, which is pretty useful in terms of a retaining wall, which is how these ones are acting. Originally, the architects had specified something called Rockwell gate-in walls, which are the type that you'll see in residential areas, but what they can't do is act structurally as retaining walls. So through our D&C contract, we had to kind of work out the best design that we could come to that still allowed for that architectural specification, but allowed for the structural needs that are needed for
One thing we can see behind us is we can see a lot of reinforcement bars sticking out of the concrete. Can you explain why they're there at the moment?
So they're there at the moment because what is coming in between these two buildings is a linkway that's going to include the cafe, but what needs to happen before we can build them is we're going to need to do some piling footings, and we're obviously going to have to build our concrete slab out. So they've allowed for that Rio to come out either way.
Okay, so this link bridge is going to go from where we see the Rio here, in the north building, over to where we see the Rio over there with the yellow caps on in the south building. And why would you wait? Why not do everything at once?
So the reason that we're waiting is mainly for access. So although we're going to have to get a lot of the trades that are working on these two buildings back in again, the reason that we're doing that is because we want to be able to access both sides here exteriorly on the exterior without affecting that linkway that we've just built. So we're going to aim to get all of these buildings on the exterior on these sides done before we then start building our linkway. And that was one of Rob, the project manager's, key considerations. That's his job, making sure when it makes sense to do which part of the project.
Yeah, sure. So this is really crucial, the sequencing and the staging of the project. Because if this link bridge is in, equipment that you might need to be able to build stuff on the other side, you won't be able to get access to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the ground floor of the north building here. And Esther, what project delivery method was used on this particular project?
So we have a D&C contract, so a design and construct contract. Sarah got involved with ECH with it in an ECI, so an early contractor involvement agreement. So Sarah helped at all design phases, technically, and then we got involved and started building the project at 70% documentation.
Right.
So that has meant that we've been able to work through design challenges with both the architects and the structural engineers. So it hasn't been a hard and fast, this is what we're building and this is, if it doesn't work, you're paying for it. It's much more of a
collaborative agreement type thing. Yeah. Oh, that's good. What do you actually do on this project? So
I'm a site assistant for Sarah.
Right.
So that means that I do a lot of work involving scope and variations. So although we're on a design and construct contract, it's still relevant in terms of variations. If something does get changed in that collaborative process because of our subcontractors, so because they get signed up to our tender drawings, so any changes that are made from tender, we need to work out how much that's going to cost, or how much we're going to have to pay subbies on top, or how much they owe us. So I do a lot of work in terms of the scope in general, doing big takeoffs of all of what's needed on site in terms of both variations and originally scoping the project.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it's very good. It's very good. I think I enjoy the original scope a bit more than the variations because they can be a bit nitpicky. But no, scoping it's good. You have to be very, very meticulous, but it's very enjoyable.
Sure. And just looking around at what we can see now, can you just point a few things out on what we can see on the ground floor that's still in a bit of base building?
Yeah. So what you can see up above, if we can see that hopefully, that is that's the floor above. So we're in the community space at the moment, so you would walk in from Smart Road. So this ground floor of the North Building is very community-based. This is where you'll find the gym and the Montessori and sort of childcare services. So that's what you're walking into now. What else can we see? We can see some ducting from the mechanical units, which are all the air cons. Some of the structural steel is still visible.
Yeah, you see the fireproofing on there?
Yeah, that's a vermiculite fireproofing, and then we've actually got two types of fireproofing. So this one here is the boarded fireproofing, and then we've also got the vermiculite against our structural steel.
Excellent. Thanks, Esther. We'll continue having a look around. Okay, Esther, we're now inside in one of the more finished parts of the site. Can you tell me what is this room we're in?
So this is the prototype room. So what we're doing at the moment is we're getting all of the trades to come in and finish this off, as we are going to finish off all of the 77 apartments across the two buildings, just so that we can get an idea of how things work. And then also architects will specify things, but they haven't necessarily seen them in person next to each other. So it's really important that the architect's specs get checked over before we do it 77 times in case there's something to change.
Sounds like a very good plan.
Yeah.
A good reason why this would happen ahead of the rest of the building.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, let's continue on our tour of site. Okay, Esther, we're now behind the south building here on site. What can we see as we look around?
So we have some boom rooms behind us and in front of us, being used right now to put up both the cladding and the cladding. We also, you can see that way we have a vertical hoist, which helps us to get both people and materials up to those high
the
levels.
Orange thing we can see in between the
the big blue V. Yep. And then I don't know, they're probably not visible in this view, but hopefully they will be in another one. There's some Preston.
Drag the mouse up and you should be able to see those yellow bins hanging off the edge of the building.
Yep. And so that is for those are loading decks, so that we can crane things on. So materials such as sheets for walls, we can crane them straight in, so that we're not trying to carry them up in the lift or on the stairs. And both the vertical hoist and the Prestons, they're both allowed for structurally by the engineers.
So obviously people and materials handling is a particular challenge on any site, as it is on this site. How many people do you have working on a typical day here at the moment?
Yeah, cool. So from Sarah, we have quite a few people out here managing the site, because there are so many different trades from different subcontractors coming and going to get this job done. So from Sarah, we have a site manager and then we have 4 site supervisors. We also have 2 safety officers that look particularly at making sure people are doing the right thing. Then we have the project manager. Under the project manager, we have 3 project coordinators. Then we have a construction graduate out here as well, and then we have me, who's a site assistant.
And you enjoying your role on this project?
Very much, yeah. Been good.
And obviously Sarah doesn't build everything themselves. They are relying on a number of subcontractors.
Yep.
When does Sarah know when to do something themselves, and when do they know when to subcontract a task out?
Well, for the purpose of this job, most things are subcontracted. So the only thing that we really do is managing all of the subcontractors for the purpose of this. So we have subcontractors coming in and doing everything, but our job is more to manage those subcontractors and making sure that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of some subcontractors that are on site at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So an example of subcontractors are when the precast people came in to put in the precast panels on the building. Right now, using the boom lift is a subcontractor. They're the guys doing the cutting. That's SA Construct. So they'll come in and put all of the prep on the building for cladding and for cladding. So yeah, we are subcontracted by the client to build this project, and then we subcontract out to get the right people into the job.
That's the way to do it. Get the right people and get them to do what they do best.
Yeah.
Thanks, Esther.
All good.
We'll continue our tour. Okay, Esther, we're now on level 5 of the South Tower.
Yeah.
Can you describe to us some of the health and safety aspects that need to be considered on this project?
Yeah, good. So Sarah as a company goes pretty above and beyond in terms of safety. I would say it's one of their number one considerations. So an example of this is having one of these setups on every floor of each building. What it includes is fire extinguisher, stroke bleed kit, the emergency evacuation procedure, and then it also has a nurse call station so that the safety officer will be alerted both by text message and the nurse call station that they have done in their office, so that someone can press that if there's ever an issue, and then the safety officer can come up, check it. There are plenty of people on site that have first aid training, CPR training, and then obviously we call emergency services if necessary.
As we come round, Esther, to the southern side of the south building, you can see the boom lift is up at our level.
Yep.
What else can we see from this floor?
So that's also the hoist that we could see before, so that's that same boom lift operating, and this is the top of the hoist.
Yep.
You can see the scaff. This scaff's really important. That's on pretty much any opening now on the site. Super important so that no one falls off. We obviously don't want anyone falling from 6 stories up. So yeah, scaff on any breakouts so that no one can fall full height.
Okay, Esther, we're now on level 5 of the south building in the Preston Hire. What is the purpose of this?
So this is a loading deck, so we would have seen that down when we were on the south side of the south building. This is where we can using cranes, we can load any materials up. So again, around us you can see some of the framing materials and the wall sheeting and stuff. Obviously we don't want people carrying up the stairs, it's really hard to get the lift, especially it's super high for a lift. So yeah, that's a perfect example of when we would get a crane on site. The subcontractors usually organise their own craneage to get their own materials up here, but it just provides a safer way to do that.
Excellent. So Esther, would you say that your university degree has helped you understand what's happening here on site today?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely helped me to understand what's happening, but then in the reverse as well, my work experience has really helped to contextualise my degree and make it make sense why I learn about geotech, why I learn about like the structure of concrete and the structure of steel, and why those different aspects are important, and why there's so many different skilled engineers for different things, because everything has to be right, and all of it wraps up neatly into a good project. Yeah,
and the fantastic thing about this project is it's brought a lot of that together.
Yeah.
Just from the time we've spent on site today, you can see there's a lot of different engineering aspects and different engineers that have contributed to make this project happen.
Yeah. Definitely.
So Esther, I'd like to say thank you for allowing us onto site today.
Thank you.
We've enjoyed having a tour with you. And best of luck with the rest of this project and for the rest of your degree at uni as well.
Thank you.